Hey guys, glad you made it back. We're going to be doing some talk about the Kingdom Age again. We did a video maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago about the Kingdom Age, and I want to, I guess, whet your appetite just a little more and give you some testimony, give you some nuggets about what that may look like, and hopefully encourage you to seek the Lord for the deeper things. What started this for me, and because I'm always looking for scripture to, I guess, solidify it as a God truth. And so I get into Revelations chapter 4, verse 1, and John's hearing, he's in the Spirit, and he's hearing a voice as a trumpet saying, "The door is open." I'm paraphrasing. "The door is open. Come up hither, and I'll show you things. Show you things of things to come." And of course, further on, it talks about basically his trip back, because it appears to be an invitation to come and go. And I'm not talking about when we're all called to heaven. I'm talking about while we're here. And so that was very, very exciting for me. And there's a lot of other scriptures I'll throw your way somewhere down the road just to make you more comfortable with what that looks like. We know somebody in the religious system don't want you to know that you can heal, that you can prophesy, that you can't see the angelic host, and then you can't do deliverance. Oh my gosh! But there are always going to be people who don't want to believe that. Don't let this stop you. So what I'll talk about today was at least on my heart, about these things of the spirit realm and this kingdom age and what that looks like. You know, we talked about last time of the church age. The church age is moving into the kingdom age. The church is not going anywhere. So don't go run to mama and tell her that I said that the church is gone. That's not the case at all, because the church will always be here. But now we're moving into, it may even look like we're moving into something even more aggressive, because we're going to be able to walk in some more powerful things. And if you're going to take the wait and see look and approach, then you're going to have to play catch up, because some of us are going now, and I feel like I'm already behind. So, but let's talk about maturity, because it may provoke you to be offended by this, and it's not intended to provoke you to be offended by itself, but provoke you to offense, to say, I want more. And so I thought I was doing this. And really, it's about maturity. Maturity is much like this word picture I'll draw for you. I mean, do you remember when you were children and you were walking in, trying on mom's clothes, dad's clothes, their loafers, high heels? And let me add this in here, this little caveat: gender appropriate. Don't even go there with me. I'm not a politically correct person, nor am I a believer of making that dramatic change. That's not kind of changes we're talking about. But you were wearing mom's clothes, and the dress was so long it was behind you. You stumbled in your mom's high heels because, number one, it didn't fit good, and then you weren't used to walking in them. And so even with dad's loafers and all that, you were flip-flopping around and stumbling while the dog tried to tear it off your feet. But they didn't fit. You weren't mature enough to grow into that. This whole metaphor I'm giving you, you weren't mature to use them in the appropriate fashion. And then so here we are. We think that we're so mature, we can raise the dead, we might be able to prophesy, we can heal people, we can make declarations into the atmosphere and watch things move. That's all great, but we aren't there yet. And quite frankly, we can mature and mature and mature and still not be there. But what would it look like if we were one step closer into full maturity? And so all I'm saying is it's never over. There's always going to be more. God is so unlimited. He's limitless. There's so much more that we haven't even touched the surface of. And so in the middle of that maturity, yes, we read the Bible. Yes, we've learned to warfare. Yes, we know how to pray. But maybe there's more maybe we haven't learned to do it all yet. I'm open to everything, and I hope that you guys are too. If you agree with that, put me a comment down below. But I want to talk to you about some things also that the Lord's doing. We know the earth is groaning. We see it in the weather patterns. We see it in earthquakes. You might even, in an isolated place, hear the earth groan, and you're trying to figure out where those moans and stuff are coming from. God is moving because He wants the children of God and the earth to know that He's God, and He's making these crazy changes that we would never thought could ever happen. And in the kingdom age, are we going to be in position to be part of that heavenly government? Let's talk about visions real quick. I've only got a few minutes, so I'm trying to get through this as quick as possible. Let's talk about visions, and it's some of the very basic things that we do prophetically and all that. And you could even make application. Well, you're in the prophetic realm. Of course, all these things are happening. Not true. This is for everybody. There's nothing special about Rick that says that I'm so great that you can't do, and he's calling you to. So if I'm getting a taste of it, some of you probably so much further along that I'm provoked to this spiritual jealousy to say, come on, man, rub on me. Tell me what you're doing so I can be pumped up and know what to expect. So this isn't for the very special one. This is for everyone. He's inviting all of us. Let's talk about the vision. If you have a vision, and that's all great, and it's very colorful, you might see some things that are very graphic, and it's almost like watching a movie screen and all that. It's great to come back and tell people about. But what if, and I'm saying this to push you in this direction, what if that was for you to govern with? That vision was, here's what the enemy's trying to plan for this particular situation or a person, and then you had the ability to govern and flex your authority muscles to say, no, we can't have that, Satan. You don't have permission to do that, and we cancel that assignment and go to war after that and change the outcome. What if because we're tapping into the spirit realm, the kingdom age, right? The things of the kingdom, that we can make things different. Of course, there are things that will be sovereign. You'll get a vision or a sovereign word, and there's nothing you can do about it because God's going to have it come to pass, right? But much of what we see and much of what we know and much of the warfare that goes on in the kingdom where we have the ability to govern, then we can make change, right? Because we have the authority, we've been given permission and the assignment to and you won't be the only one on assignment. Trust me, people all over the world are getting the same assignment as you. We just come at it differently, okay? But let me give you some testimonies real quick about what it looked like early for me. In that dream place, because it seemed to always start in the dream place for me, and then of course as I've grown, as I've kind of matured, that I've heard the voice of God. I hear in the spirit realm. I see in the spirit. I get to see the nature of what someone's spirit looks like at times as God shows it to me. Is it perfect? No, because I'm still growing. But I was in dreamland. I just laid down, come out of my prayer closet, went to lay down, and between sleep and awake, I was in the spirit realm over a family that I'd been praying for. I knew they were going through some turbulence because of the attack of the enemy, and so in the spirit, I was in this family's bedroom, husband and wife. They were sleeping. I described to the individual, and by the way, I won't call their name because I'm very discreet that way. It's just a testimony that could be anybody. It just happened to be friends of ours. And but they were being attacked by the enemy. I was able to pray peace over them. But one thing I did take note of, because it was kind of new to me, not the first time, but newer to me, I was able to see the attire of a person, husband and wife. I was able to talk to them a couple days later and said, listen, this is going to sound strange, but in the spirit, I was in your room, was able to pray for you, peace, cancel some assignments and stuff, and we did see fruit out of that. But I described the shirt they were wearing. Yes, they were saying yes, that's right. You were wearing pajama bottoms. Yes, that's right. You were sleeping in the fetal position. Yeah, that's how I sleep. I wouldn't know that other than the Lord and that activity, right? Same with the wife. And I did make note of, I did not see anything inappropriate, so don't worry about that. God would not put me in that atmosphere. But just a great testimony of that we can interact while we're in the Spirit. Listen, you go on trips like that, and God has you on assignments because that's His will. But you have visions, or you are in the spirit realm, and let's say you travel, much like Philip did in the Bible and others, that it's always centered around Christ. If it's not about the Lord and His will, then I would be a little leery of it. I'd question it. I'd be a little bit concerned, because the enemy will have his people that are practicing witchcraft and such, the occult, do astral projection. I'm not about that. I'm not going to. I will go through a deliverance session like nobody's business to keep away from that. Right. So you're always going to be about God's business. That's the first telltale sign. I had another situation where I was in the Spirit over a family, a mother and a daughter. They were fighting, they were arguing. It was very intense. There was cuss words, I hate you, all that kind of stuff. I was just in an open living room. And then just so happens that I went to a prayer meeting in our local church, and that person came. I didn't know they were coming. And I pulled the mom off to the side and said, listen, you and your daughter were arguing. Yeah, we had a little bit of frustration, and just downplaying it. I said there were some hard things exchanged, and she goes, "No, it wasn't like that." I go, "Let me give you verbatim what this conversation looked like. I won't cuss like you guys were cussing, but I will tell you verbatim what the conversation was about and what I prayed." And she goes, she admitted that was going on, and even some of the activity, because we were all hallelujah in the beginning, and then God's revealing what the prayer looked like over them that changed that atmosphere, because it was just that instant. I prayed over them and canceled the assignment of the enemy in that home, and then they weren't happy-go-lucky when they broke it off, but there was time for peace to come. And so we were able to cancel that assignment in the midst of that heated exchange. That's the work of the Lord, right? And there's been so much more that the Lord's had me do. I've been to places that I could not tell you where I was. I would have no idea. But always about ministry, always about doing prophetic work, always about prayer, warfare, that kind of stuff. These times are coming, people, and we can be a part of that. How exciting. So I'm giving you a testimony about a couple of things that's happened to me. But here's what I did pray. I've never asked the Lord to see angels. I've never asked the Lord to give me in the spirit realm places to travel. I've never done that. What I've asked the Lord for, because I don't want to invite the enemy in on this, because that makes me nervous. I don't want to be a part of that realm. In second heaven, I want to be part of the third heaven realm, right? And the kingdom work. So my prayer has always been, Lord, remove the scales from my eyes, that I would see what you would have me see. And then unplug my ears to hear in the spirit realm as well, to hear Him, because that's where the fine tuning comes for the prophetic realm. And so He's honoring that. He's faithful to do it. And back again, let me encourage you. This isn't about special people. This isn't about the big dogs of the spirit realm. This is about each of us, because we all have an invitation. If we're going to walk out Revelations chapter 4, verse 1 and beyond, we have an invitation to come. We have an invitation to govern from that realm to this realm, because He equips us to do it. And so all this comes about in the spirit realm before we actually see it in the natural, right? And so if we're going to see things change and cities saved and revival come forth, then we have to learn to be a part of the spirit realm in order in the natural to see this stuff manifest. And so I'm hoping I'm getting you provoked to and encouraged into being excited about what God is doing and what He wants His people to do. And if we're going to walk in that realm of that He's bringing us back to, the restoration of all things, then this is part of it. Will all that other stuff be left behind? No. It'll be part of your tool bag, but there's bigger things, and there's bigger things to come. I want to be a part of that, and I hope that you do as well. I hope this is helpful. There's so much more to talk about. I'm only doing 13 to 15 minute sections now. That way it's not too long and you don't miss half of what we teach, because it's easy to be so very busy and lose opportunity for the whole video. So we try to do these in more smaller segments. But give me a thumbs up or a comment about your testimony, what God's doing in your life. I want to hear about it. Others want to hear about it. This isn't about what I want to hear only. This is about encouraging others that this is for each of us. And the more that we honor the prophetic, the more that we honor the spirit realm, the more that we honor healing, then the desire is increased, and God will honor you and reward you. Be able to, the things you honor, the things that your heart desires, is the things that you're seeking and that you receive. And so if you don't have any appetite for it, don't be expecting nothing, because those things that we press into is the things that God will put in our hands, right? I hope you agree with that, because it's true. Anyway, I hope to see you next time, and I'm not sure what's on the plate for this next video, but maybe some more of this. I don't know, but I'm only trying to be obedient to what God has. Anyway, come back and see us, and we hope to see you again. Talk to you soon.